still bolt cutters. I've been in here too long.
Yo, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the first episode of How Do You Like Your Coffee? This is episode number 1. Needless to say, we're pretty excited to be here with everybody, and it's going to be a good time.
That's some fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Pretty pumped. My name's Kyler, molecular biology graduate, Monterey.
I'm Connor, music marketing major at CSUMB.
So what we got for you guys today, it's going to be, I think, pretty enjoyable. A lot of good topics, a little bit of music news and science, but only the fun stuff. So first, I think we have a little debate that we need to settle here. We're going to do a segment called Putting a Pin in It. Put a pin in it. So, Connor, why don't you go ahead and explain to the people what we have here today?
Well, what we have here is a trend that's been going all over TikTok. For all of you TikTok fans out there, it is, excuse me, what's the name again? Bologna coffee? Bologna coffee?
Dalgona.
Dalgona coffee.
With a D.
With a D. Put a D in it.
Gotcha. All right. So we have a little Dalgona coffee here. You know, Connor and I, we're no chefs in the kitchen. But nonetheless, we tried our best to make this whipped topping. It was not as easy. So on that aspect, going to go ahead and have to give that like a 3 out of 10 because that was not fun to do by hand.
It was 20 minutes of us sitting at a bowl, stirring it with a fork.
And it's just not even as fluffy. Not even as fluffy. So
you know how you see like McDonald's commercials and the burgers look so good on the commercial, and then you go to McDonald's and get a burger and it looks like ass? Well, we're living it right here with this coffee. Woo! We're living it.
All right. So ingredients here, we have 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, a little bit of water when we did the little, and and a little bit of milk with some ice. I don't usually put ice in my milk, do you?
No, I don't drink milk because I'm not a sucker.
Okay. So yeah, that's that. So appearance, ease, 3 out of 10. So taste, I haven't tried it yet. Did we do it?
Now's the time.
All right.
Cheers. Thumbs up.
It's dark. It's not horrible.
No, that's honestly not as bad as I thought. It's sweet.
So the reason that we chose to do this was because there were so many people who said they loved it. I apologize if my cheeks get a little red. It's hot here. It's hot here today. So the reason that we chose to do this was because so many people said that they loved it. So many people said that they hated it. Me personally, Connor, I think it's a great time to say, how do you like your coffee?
Oh, that's a good point. I like it. I honestly do. I came in here with negative views. Like Tyler said, I've heard people say they absolutely loved it, and I've heard people say they absolutely hate it. Me personally, I'm a coffee man. I'm a barista on weekends, and I've never heard of something like this. This just looks like a fluffy latte to me, and it's really sweet. A lot of sugar. Was involved.
Definitely in there.
Yeah.
Yep. We put it. I saw the whole thing. It was not healthy, but that's okay.
Not healthy at all. Not healthy at all.
So now that that's done, I'm glad we put a pin in that. So what do we say? Do we say good, bad?
I say good.
All right. I'm go with good as well.
It's got the time stamp of approval.
Awesome. So that's what we're going to be sipping on today. And I think what we're going to do is at the beginning of every segment that we put together, we'll have a new cocktail, new drink. So feel free to everybody send in your ideas of what we should be getting on the next episode. So what's next on our agenda now that we've introduced ourselves, did the putting a pin in it?
Well, hold on. Have we introduced ourselves? Let's give a little background.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's give a little background.
All right.
What do you do for a living?
So I am, a lot of my friends, anyway, I cure cancer depending on who you are, but for, scientists in the world, I work at a biotech in Mountain View. It's a good time. A lot of science, a lot of fun, a lot of flasks is my life motto. What about you?
A lot of science, a lot of flasks. You're here first, people. I work for a small to medium-sized full-scale music production company. We specialize in putting on and promoting festivals and concerts. My company owns around 10 music venues throughout California and some on the East Coast. The famous Catalyst in Santa Cruz is one of the ones we work with. And
I've been there.
You have?
You know who I saw there?
Who'd you see?
What is his name? They call him the Screaming Eagle. I think it's Charles Bradley.
Charles Bradley
Passed away. Yeah, he was a homeless gentleman who got a career as like a chef or something, and they saw him like singing in the kitchen or singing on the streets, one of the two, and he got famous. But sadly, he passed away. But yeah, hell of a concert. I actually saw it with our buddy Albert. It was a great time.
Oh, Albert.
That's the only one I've ever seen at the Catalyst. But continue.
Yeah. So my company focuses on a festival promotion, concert promotion. I personally don't work on this section of the company, but we are artist managers for artists such as Collie Bugs, Mike Love. The Expendables is one that we work with a lot. But yeah, that's a little bit of background on me. So I'll be your music viewpoint, music industry news. I usually have a little bit more of an in on what's going on in that industry because it affects my day-to-day job. And Kyler will be your scientific viewpoint because, well,
Science.
he's the only one that knows it.
All right. Not in the world, just on this couch.
Just on this couch, exactly.
So let's get to the reviews. What do we got today?
All right, so something we're going to be doing throughout each episode is a short album review. Please feel free to send in suggestions on albums you want us to review. We just went with the most highly reviewed album of 2020, which is called "Fetch the Bolt Cutters" by Fiona Apple. That's a weird name. A lot of you may not know who that is. I sure as hell didn't.
Yeah, no.
He didn't.
Nope.
Listen to this album, and she gained a new fan. She absolutely gained a new fan. I loved this album. It was really fun to listen to. Ladies, I feel like might like it a lot more.
Talk us through it a little bit. What's the So me personally, I heard it. Connor had mentioned that he listened to it and wanted to do a review on it. When I listened to it, it sounded kind of like storytelling a little bit.
You're absolutely right. So Fiona Apple tells a story throughout this whole album of a bad relationship that she was in, and she felt locked in this relationship with this gentleman who clearly was not a great partner. She got into this relationship because that's what she thought she needed to do. She mentions in her songs that everything that she has done in her life led up to this point, and she really wanted this guy. She really wanted this guy to have a relationship with. And then when she actually got into it, she realized that he wasn't who she thought he was. Big sad hours. It happens to the best of us. And she stayed in the relationship because that's what she was taught when she was younger.
Yeah.
And so anybody knows if you stay in a relationship that you shouldn't be in, you start to resent the person that you're with. And that's exactly what this album talked about, is how she started to resent this guy, and she needed to get out. And hence the title, Fetch the Bolt Cutters.
So what about the music itself? So me personally, I always find it funny, right? And I've had a lot of these instances where you're sitting in the car and you're listening to something heavy, right? Something heavy, something hard.
Slaps.
Speaking of, drugs and many other things, and you're in the car with your parents and they listen to it and they're like, man, this is great music, but they don't listen to the words. This is an album where you will definitely hear the words and be able to, understand the story. But me personally, I don't know, Connor, are you more of like a beat person or like a vocals person? I feel like that's important. I feel like there's a lot of different types, right?
And that's the thing. That's the great thing about music. It's all opinionated. So, I personally, it really depends on the mood I'm in. It depends on the weather. I might, say I'm going to the gym. I need something that hits hard. I need a beat that fucking smacks me in my head and makes me want to put up some weight. And sometimes when I'm, just driving along, I need something more lo-fi, lyrically advanced, something to listen to, something to think about. And this is definitely one of those albums, definitely something to think about.
Right.
You hear the lyrics, you hear her story, you feel for her, you get involved in the story.
Where would you say you would listen to this album? At the gym, in the car, in bed crying?
Definitely not at the gym. In bed crying, that's a good one, because that's probably, that fits the ticket.
Back up 1 second. I noticed I said album. It's not the whole album. It's just this one song. Fetch the Bolt Cutters, as well as, but the album itself has a little bit of both. A little bit of, smooth, easygoing, but a little bit of upbeat. Yeah. Just depends which song, but hell of an album.
Fiona Apple's album is that, it gets upbeat, and then the story that she's telling in that upbeat song is more of an upbeat lyric. It's more happy.
I feel that.
And I would, the music itself, the overall genre of this album is definitely piano-based alt rock with a jazz undertone. Pretty niche.
No, niche.
Pretty niche. Let me tell you what.
Niche. Okay.
And the album is very raw. Let me forewarn you here. It sounded like she recorded it in her goddamn bathroom in her house. Because in the song Fetch the Bolt Cutters, off the album Fetch the Bolt Cutters, you hear her dogs barking in the background.
That's nice.
I don't know. So what my take on that is that she was recording the song in her bathroom, sitting in the bathtub, and then her dog started barking. She was like, "Oh hell!" Yeah, you have it.
Yeah.
You know the feeling.
You know the feeling.
The dogs were barking during her recording of the song, and she was just like, "Fuck it, let's just run it." She kept it in there, and honestly, it adds to the song a little bit. The rawness of the whole album itself, it adds to that rawness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. What we got next?
So going off this raw take of an album, something that's going on in the music industry right now and going on in every industry in the world is obviously COVID-19. It is affecting all industries, especially the industry of large gatherings, which is the music industry as a whole. People get together in groups of, it could be from 900 to 10,000 at music festivals, all shuttled in.
Did you mention the little bit of, I forgot, did you mention the little bit that about you being like somewhat associated with Cali Roots and things like that?
I haven't mentioned that yet, no.
Okay. Yeah, so Connor, I think that's a good point to bring up, talking about Cali Roots and a little bit of credibility, so where you are with all of that.
Yeah, I'm not just a random guy on the street who's giving his, no evidence backed up opinion of the music industry. No, I do. My job personally, I do music marketing. I work with the founders and producers of the Cali Roots Music Festival in Monterey, California.
So what's the status with that, with everything going on?
Well, it's not great. I'll tell you that much. It's not great. We had to postpone the festival because it usually happens in May.
Right.
Happens exactly a month from now is when it would start. It's Memorial Day weekend, and we postponed it to October, the second weekend of October, which also so happens to be the first weekend of Coachella, and also like 5 other music festivals have postponed to that exact date.
So do you think that the rest of them are going to be that way as well? That they're going to get postponed another year, or do you guys think it's just you? Or
No, it's going to be every music festival in the country is now going to get postponed, probably farther back. If any of you have kept up with the news, there's been talk of all large live music events and concerts, small venues as well, being postponed until 2021, so a whole year away. And it's definitely a thought in our office. We are thinking of the fact of postponing until 2021. Nothing has been official yet. I don't want to speak on it too much with regards to that, but definitely keep your eyes out. Some of your favorite festivals will be probably postponed until 2021. So this may be a year of no live music.
What do you think is going to happen once everybody does start getting together? How are these festivals going to be? Do you not from like a professional opinion, just like a personal opinion. Do you think that, everybody's going to be kind of standoffish about, wanting to go now? Or do you think that the festival goers are just not going to care as much?
So I feel like there's two thoughts here. There is, the people who are going to be, one, financially recovering from all of this and will not be willing to spend money on tickets.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
so we may see a decrease in ticket buyers for just your regular concerts and festivals. But at the same time, everyone's going to be cooped in. And if we go all of 2020 without no live music, people are going to be itching for it. Like those of you who love live music and you know who you are just itching to get back out there in the scene and just see your favorite bands play right in front of you. There's no feeling like it. Yeah.
All right then. That'll okay. Yeah, I personally don't know. My take on it, I don't know. That's going to be crazy, especially because they're saying that it's potentially seasonal, right? So, what happens if it's seasonal and it comes back in the fall and everybody's freaking out again and all that stuff? Like, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be a tough one for sure, I think. I don't know. I guess just stay safe and wear a mask, wash your hands, and do your business.
That's one of the things, that's hardest about this is that no one knows what's going to happen. I don't know. My boss doesn't know. My company doesn't know. Hell, the president doesn't know. He said something about what? Disinfecting yourself?
Oh my God.
Disinfecting yourself, just huff some Lysol.
My man. Okay, do not do that. All right, so let's just take a brief tangent real quick. So a lot of people, I asked Connor this, right? So I said, do you even know how bleach works? Okay, so bleach itself everybody knows it as use it to disinfect, but nobody even knows how it disinfects, right? And that's what I mean personally. So me, I'm a science enthusiast. Some call those people scientists. I'm not a scientist, I want to say, but I dabble in the arts. Me personally, it's crazy to me how many people use everyday things and don't think about like how those things even come about or how it happens, right? So bleach, in case you don't know, is a form of like an oxidation agent. And what happens is that bleach comes in contact with all the different cells and it oxidizes those cells and then it breaks them down and kills them and things like that. People, if you inject bleach or you inhale Lysol or you do any of these things, that is, I don't even know how, I can't even believe we're in a time when this is happening, right? I think that's the craziest.
It's crazy. And yeah, you're right. I don't know what bleach is. All I know is that it kills everything I pour on it.
Yep.
Including bees.
Yeah.
And
What? Wait, when have you, what?
That doesn't matter. We'll get into that in the next episode.
All right. Yeah, anyway, don't do that. That's a horrible idea. And I can't even fathom the fact that this is a topic of discussion in today's times.
However,
yes.
From this topic, probably one of my new favorite memes is President Trump taking a hit from a Juul pod. And the Juul pod flavor is Lysol disinfectant spray.
That's great.
And
it's all nuts, man. It's so nuts.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Absolutely. BANANAS. You feel me? Yeah, so don't do that. That's bad. Yeah, so post-culture COVID, what's next? Tell us about these merch booths.
So, again, back on the music industry, obviously artists, bands, music creators are suffering big time. You know, all of their tours are being postponed. They're being canceled is what really is happening. So a lot of artists are pushing out, their virtual merch booths. It's basically just e-commerce, but they add a little pizzazz to it to make it a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more user-friendly. And, and they really want their fans to buy their merch. So go out there and buy a shirt from your favorite band. They'll really appreciate it. Do it. And going off the online stuff.
You have a favorite band?
Do I have a favorite band?
What's your favorite band?
Oh, wow, that's a hard-hitting question. What is my favorite band? That's a good question.
I guess it depends, right?
It does.
A lot of people don't know this about me. A very select few. Big Ray Charles guy. Like, I'm talking sip your coffee in the morning, listen to a little bit of, Georgia, and just enjoy the morning. Get calm. But
he's blind, right?
Yes, I had to think about that. Yes, he is. He was. But yeah, I love all that old school jazz. Aretha Franklin, B.B. King, Ray Charles, all kinds of people. I love it.
Yeah.
Temptations. Woo, we got a little Temptations up there. I don't know if it's in the frame, but it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, I would have to say that. But what about you, man?
It comes to my mind. I wouldn't say they're my favorite band, but they're definitely they're the band I listen to probably the most. Mac DeMarco. I love
Never heard of them.
Mac DeMarco. You don't know Mac DeMarco?
Nope. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Are they as big as Pink Floyd or Sublime?
No,
Oh, okay.
he's not dead yet, so he's not that big yet.
No.
Everyone gets bigger when they die.
All right.
It's real. It's
All
real
right.
talk.
Okay.
He put on one of the best shows I've ever seen out in Big Sur last year. Right after I graduated, I went with some friends, and it was a magical show. I ended up taking tequila shots with Mac DeMarco later that night after his set at the bar.
I want to smoke weed with Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Just kidding. That was a joke. Man, I had a hard time saying that. All right. Yeah. So, nice. Okay, Mac DeMarco. Yeah, I never heard of them. What kind of genre is that?
He's more like an indie rock.
Okay.
Yeah, great stuff. Blue Boy, banger. We could go on and on about Mac DeMarco, but that's not the point. Another thing going on in the music industry with the online would be online festivals and concerts. That's the only way we can bring new music to our the fans. So people are recording these fun sets, putting it out on YouTube, which has become a huge. YouTube's obviously huge itself, but even more so now, just connecting with your fans that's the easiest way to do it. So you'll see a lot of bands, as you already have, putting out new music, new live sets with different renditions of your favorite songs. Give them a listen. It'll help your band out. People make money off of YouTube views and ads. So next time you see a little skip ad button, don't click it. Just let it roll. Watch the ad. Do it for your friends. Enough about the music industry.
Yeah.
You know, and enough about COVID-19. That's what everyone's talking about. What's some new stuff going on in the science world? Tell me something new.
Let's talk it. So we already did the whole don't inject anything. That's a horrible idea. Don't do that.
We do not.
One thing I thought that was actually really cool, a lot of people wouldn't have heard about, is NASA actually. I forget how recently this was, but it was fairly recent-ish. They're talking about putting I got it here. Let me look this up. This is very important. I don't want to be wrong about this. It is a LCRT, which stands for something radio telescope. So basically, there's a crater on the moon. It's about 1.9 to 3.1 miles in diameter. And the idea of this is it's on the backside of the moon, and so you put this big radio telescope inside the crater, and what it does is it collects like sound waves and everything from the opposite side of the moon. And right now, that's not really possible. We have a lot of difficulties in, being able to get signals from outside of what we know, besides like Mars and stuff. But the idea is, like when a star dies or like, aliens start to try and talk to us, we'll be able to hear those things. And that's actually really cool. That's actually a big step in the future. And I think I also love space. I'm a big space guy. Yeah, I always talk about Mars. Would you ever be the first person on Mars? Like, all right, so hypothetical. Here you go. So they'd say, look, 10 people, first trip to Mars free. They take 10 volunteers to figure it out, like start a new life, right? Do you go?
Do I go?
Yeah.
Oh,
would you go?
Yeah, I'd get. So, I mean, do I get to come back? Am I coming back from Mars, or is that?
No, you're not stuck there. I'm just saying, like, you go up there, right? So I asked a lot of people this question, and they're like, man, after a while, they think it'd be a free-for-all, right? For, like, food, for, like, space and everything. Like, man, that'd be crazy. But I would go. I would. I think I would.
I think you would be the right person to go.
Thanks so much. I have a green thumb. I can plant anything. I'm not going to say that it lives, but I do plant them.
Plant them?
Yep.
And then that's the end of it.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, so this telescope basically gives us a little bit wider range of signals that we're able to collect from the outside planetary system and whatnot.
It's on the dark side of the moon. I think someone wrote an album about that.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd.
Nope, I love Pink Floyd.
God bless.
I also like the Eagles.
Oh.
Yeah. I dabble in the arts.
Dabble in the arts, yes, you do.
So that's cool. So that's pretty new and exciting. What else we got?
So some new trend that I have been seeing online would be an Instagram scam.
The 100 to 800 people.
It's killing me. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a thing that's been going all over Instagram. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's a circle, and it has, X amount of spaces, and so one name is in the middle, and that person in the middle makes $800 by other people joining the circle on the outer regions of the circle, and to get in the circle, you have to pay that person in the middle $100. And then so on and so forth, you get your friends to join, and then you slowly move towards the middle of the circle, and then the end goal is you're supposed to make $800 easy off of your $100 payment into this inner circle.
How much that guy make?
The guy who started it has supposedly made over $1 million.
I heard like 10 million. That's crazy though.
Any amount over $800 is too much. And I've had a manager of mine from a job that I'm furloughed from because of COVID-19 ask me to pay her $100 so I could join her circle. And I'm like,
she sounds like a scammer.
She's trying to scam my ass. I was like, you scammed me out of my job by creating the coronavirus.
You fired me and took my money.
And now you want me to give you more of my limited income?
Jeez, man, that's wild.
It's wild. And if you partake in this Instagram scam, please
don't
unfollow me.
Yeah, stop.
Or just don't.
Yeah, just don't. Yep, stop that.
And if you're asking your friends to give you $100 so they could join your circle,
You're a scammer.
Bottom of the barrel person.
Yeah.
That's my take on that.
Oh,
That's Connor's take on the Instagram scam.
That was harsh, man.
It was harsh.
But you know what? That's bad. Don't scam. Scam is bad.
Don't scam.
Not
Another trend that we've been seeing.
Oh my God. So this is we're just going to go on a side skit here. Found this very interesting.
It's worth talking about.
I don't know. I'm not going to have a full conversation about it, but sex toys are flying off the shelves.
That's not my business.
You know, I found that interesting that was one of the highest news articles on a lot of things. So you people.
What kind of articles you read?
Nope. Get out. Next.
Next.
So a lot of people don't know, but Connor and I were actually supposed to be in Europe this week, enjoying nice lattes in Amsterdam.
Yeah,
or
lattes in this.
you know, bagging baguettes in Paris. Ooh. Or where else? Drinking brews in Belgium.
Yeah.
And London.
As a clam as in Amsterdam.
Yeah, and also London though. We were supposed to be all over the place. Unfortunately, yeah,
that didn't happen.
That didn't happen because
of
everything going on.
Now. We're in Northern California.
Yeah, but the reason I brought that up was actually because I've been getting a lot of feedback from people in Europe or friends in Europe. I shouldn't say people. I do know these people. They're friends.
International.
Where I'm going with is, you know, the European thoughts, at least the feedback I've been hearing about everything is that the U.S. is nuts right now for opening up. You know, I heard Texas and Georgia opened up this week.
Yeah, Florida too. They opened up their beaches. I know that for a fact.
Florida's not a part of the United States. Yeah, so that's crazy. Anyway, just because everything's open doesn't mean you gotta go, right? Let's all be smart about this. Let's all think about everything else going on.
Do what we're doing.
Yeah.
Make a podcast and stay the hell inside.
Or don't and just watch ours. I don't know. That's
a better choice.
Yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, so we rescheduled for August, hoping that everything works out that way. That'd be nice.
You know, hopefully this is the COVID-19 situation has been dialed back a little bit enough to where we can travel. We rescheduled to the end of August, or we'll be there for my birthday.
Yeah.
And right after yours. So it's going to be a nice birthday trip for the both of us.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
But so in August we'll be doing our podcast hopefully over in that area, and that'll be nice, and that'll actually be really fun. Be doing a podcast in Greece.
Yeah.
But
Greece. That's what we should definitely do.
Yeah. So I think now's a good time to kind of wrap up and say go ahead and listen to everything else on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Definitely watch this because this is going to be a good episode. I think at least it was a good little first start.
It was a good first start. And we ask you, take this ride with us, pour yourself a cup, and join us on this journey.
Yeah.
How do you like your coffee?
Yeah. How do you like your coffee? Everybody stay tuned to see what's next, and it's going to be a good time. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Vegetable bolt cutters. I've been in here too long.